System initiation active. Module sequencing in 3, 2, 1. Magnet chambers operative. Employee 45803 is now deceased. Employee 51092. Welcome to your nightmare. Deep within the night, a shadow lurks above. Glimpses left and right, mournfully unloved. It seeks the past of man. The king, the priest, the master. Time-shattering empires. Canonical disaster. An element of pain. A dune of bloody skin. Lost souls into dismay. The corpse's rotten twin. It seeks an orb of faith. A book written in blood. A sacred text of fate. The dead rising from mud. You're dead before you're born. You live, yet you forgot. The flowers whispered thorn. A despaired lesson taught. They reign supreme below. The feathered gods of night. The prophecies say so. They'll come when time is right. To break civilization. Create a new world order. A pulsive motivation. One sorrowful disorder. And mankind will return to its primordial era. The waters will then burn. The new age of chimera. The orb of faith is glowing. It shows unwritten pasts. The darker shade of knowing. The tribes of the outcasts. With pyramids of soil. With spikes and thorns and traps. They boil alive turmoil. For they have borne collapse. A seer to know it all. A guide to lead to hell. A sin to start the fall. A curse to know it well. A dark descent into abyss. Reminiscence. A cruel. For something is amiss. The dawn. A blackened hill. In the beginning, there was the end. And in the end, you will be dead, like all the rest before you. An unfaithful chance of survival was born into your very existence. You will try, and you have failed. You are, yet you weren't. You will be, and you have not been. Welcome to hell. Welcome home. and they fell unto their knees when seeing her. Her divine grace inspired fear into everyone. Even the fearless leaders of the tribes had their hands shaking. Her image, her expression, a motionless uncertainty, painted in her carnelian-shaded eyes. A cruel, brutal beauty, sculpted into her gracious body. In slow motion, she raised a hand and made them all slaves. "14,000 years ago, a cult known as the Cult of Arya was born. The Kaladi people, living in a region which was once the southwestern part of Persia, were thriving and gaining power. In order to conquer new land and establish their new empire, the Kaladi sought the favor of the gods. Among their gods was the deity of death and terror, Arya. The greedy and savage tribe masters of the Kaladi knew that only by her favors they will reach glory and power. I own Adam and Eve, a lesson that the corporation needed to teach. Two employees who broke the boundaries of social limitations. It must have been the bitter taste of melancholia, and a thing you humans call love, your own deception and distraction. Imagine how they must have felt, being locked up so close to each other, and watch the other one die and rot. The angelic, perfect image of a loved one, reduced to a pile of decaying swarm of schizophrenic maggots. It's sad indeed. But it is our specialty. The Kaladi lived in mountainous regions. Nobody knew the exact definition of their bruised, ruptured ways. The agony of existence was lyrically painted with the blood of the innocents. Their cults were above all. Their leaders were like rabid wild dogs, always thirsty for human misery and pain. Blood and human remains served as breakfast. Tormented feasts of death.